I think we are now officially live. Hello, anybody who is watching. I'm not sure if anybody is watching just yet. I've got myself a volcano bag here that I plan on enjoying to start with. Nice and milky looking. And also, before I officially start doing this, I actually just cleaned out my volcano's, I don't remember what you call this little doohickey, but it's basically, you put the weed, you unscrew this, you put the weed in there, and then it blows up through the top here. The vaporized weed, the vapor, that's the word I'm looking for, that's the noun. The vapor blows up through here. Well, I've had my volcano for about a year, and I have neglected to clean this top part of the chamber. And today I decided to do that. I opened it up, I pulled out that screen, and there was about a ½ inch of gunk build up on the inside of that thing. It was disgusting. I'm actually really looking forward to smoking this bag and seeing if it's going to be... it's been harsh on my lungs recently, and I wonder if it's all that shit that has been built up in there. So let's find out. Let's find out if it's a little bit smoother now that I finally cleaned the son of a bitch out. Oh yeah, smooth. And I'm actually on a bit of a, coming off a small tolerance break right now, about a 48-hour tolerance break. I haven't had any THC in my system for about 2 days. So I assume this will hit harder than it normally does. It's not as if my tolerance had been especially high either. It has still been way down from my 1-month experiment. That mixed with the fact I've just had a lot of busy events and personal things going on in this since my tolerances break has ended, which has prevented me from getting as high as often as I would like, and especially it's prevented me from starting my new reviews projects. I haven't actually reviewed any new products since my tolerance break has been over. I've reviewed nothing, and the hopper is about empty. I think I've got another week and a half's worth of videos to go before the queue is finally out. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting back in the swing of things. But yes, I have been away for a while, busy with real work, the actual work. I had some huge writing projects to do, and it's kept me busy, among other things, you know, just ennui, all that, you know, bad stuff. But I'm back, and I am excited, to talk to you guys and see what's going on with everyone. Do another hit from this wonderful vape bag here. Oh, shit. Woo! Excuse me, guys. I had the video on private. My bad. I had the video on private. I've now switched it over to public. Hopefully that means some more of you will be joining me. My apologies. I was doing some technical work earlier, making sure that I would have no technical difficulties for this stream. So I was doing a test stream earlier and had it on private, which is why it was set to private, which is why nobody was in here. But I hope now that I'm public, you guys will come and join, and we can have a merry, blessed time. I will backtrack and talk about the things that I had just discussed, including my absence and my general lack of missing of targets that I've pledged, and my lack of responsiveness. I just haven't been as quick and keen on responding to emails, comments, messages. I get a bunch of those, and I haven't done my best. Ruckus is in the house. Welcome, Ruckus. I apologize. I have been super busy. If you guys have sent me messages, if you left me comments, if you emailed me, and I haven't responded. I am so sorry. I super apologize. It has been a crazy month this past month, and it has just been super busy. So, as I was saying at the very beginning, back when this was a private stream, accidentally, my tolerance is still way down low. Reason being, I don't think at this point it has to do with the fact that I took the 1 month tolerance break, although part of it might still be, there might be some lingering tolerance issues there, but largely it's because I have done very few edibles since my tolerance break has been over, and I haven't even smoked as much as I normally would. It's just life kept butting its ugly head in the way, getting in the way, and preventing me from getting as high as I want to and sharing those experiences with you guys. That includes I haven't actually recorded any new Wheats reviews since the tolerance break has been over with. Everything you see is still has been in the queue, and the queue runs out next week. So I have no new reviews coming up. I've got to get back on the ball, but first I've got to pull this tolerance way out of the gutter and get back somewhere reliable. So I'm going to use my old trusty volcano bag here to help me out. Yes. So, when I was messing with my volcano earlier, I was messing with it earlier today, getting things set up, and I realized, I was like, wait, you got to do some cleaning with this stuff. There's got to be some kind of work. You can't just press a button always. There's got to be some kind of work you have to do. Kappa is in the house. Welcome, Kappa. Long time, buddy. It's been a long time. Not too much is up. I'm talking about my volcano and how I hadn't cleaned it in a year, and there was literally a half-inch of gunk and crust that had built up on the inside of the little funnel, not funnel, whatever you call it, and it was really disgusting, really gross. But I cleaned it now, ready to get high. You went to Cali? Kappa, what'd you do in Cali? Where'd you go? How high did you get? Did you get to try some Canico? Did you go to any amusement parks? I'm so excited to hear about your journey, man. While you're typing, I'm going to enjoy another inhalation. Woo! Okay. So, I had said this earlier, back when my stream was accidentally private, not public. If you guys recently have left me a comment, emailed me, sent me a message in any way, shape, or form, and I have not responded to you, I sincerely apologize. I will respond. I will get to your comment, your email, your message, wherever you've contacted me. I will get those back out to you. It has just been an extraordinarily busy month, extraordinarily busy. I haven't even got to smoke or take his edibles as much as I want to, just because of how busy I am. Kappa says he drove across the country to meet for a few hours with a new friend. Ooh, Kappa, would that be? Kappa, I'm not sure. I should already let you know. This bag has already made me very high. I'm technically on breaking a 48-hour tolerance break right now. I didn't even mean to have one. It's just my things got so crazy in the past week even that I didn't even have time to smoke. So this bag is hitting me a lot harder than it normally would. So Kappa, understanding that I'm quite high already, when you say you drove across the country to meet for a few hours with a new friend, is that sexual? And then you give me the winky face emoji. Did you literally drive? Because if I remember correctly, you're from like the southeast, or at least somewhere from the East Coast. So you drove like 35 hours to come across the country. Not sexual. Okay. Well, I don't know if to go whew or damn. Okay. But, a 35-hour booty call, I mean, she's from Hollywood. If she could be from Hollywood if that's what you were out here for. So it might be worth it for some people, but I don't think any booty's worth a 35-hour drive. Kappa, how many days did you do that drive in? Let me quiz you that. How many days did it take you to get here? I have driven from East Tennessee to Southern California twice, and from Chicago to Southern California once. Those are between 30 and 35 hour drives, and I did them, 2 of them in one day, or I mean one in straight driving, and then one with a like 6-hour hotel nap in between. 6,000 miles! You must have taken a, oh my god. Whew! In close to 7 days. That's still pretty good timing for a 6,000-mile journey. Were you on a vacation? Did you, with that much, well, I guess if you 3,000 miles because you drove there and back. I've never driven there and back. I've never made the round trip journey. I've only ever made the one-wayers, and then flown back or to move here, or once buying a car. And it is rough, man. It is rough. Oh, yes. Both of those things are incredibly beautiful. I mean, the Grand Canyon, duh, it's insane. You know it's going to be beautiful. You know it's going to be incredible. You know it's going to be awe-inspiring. But the Hoover Dam is fucking awe-inspiring in of its own right, and I was not expecting that. I was not expecting, a large dam to produce this, like, moment of awe in me. But seeing it, it's like, holy fuck. Yes, the Grand Canyon is outrageous, Kappa. It is so fucking, I mean, it's so much more, it's so much more vast than you're expecting. It's just massive. It's massive. It's unbelievably huge. I mean, you can't actually describe it in human scale. Like, it's one person can't experience all of the Grand Canyon just by looking at one particular spot, unless you're like looking aerial. Did you go on any hikes, Kappa? Did you go down did you ride a mule down to the bottom or camp along the way somewhere? I've done the hike down to the bottom and then back up to the top when I was a teenager. Oh, I probably didn't like it at the time, but now, looking back on it, I love the, just such a beautiful place. But yeah, it was a tough hike. Did you do the skywalk, Kappa? I don't know if that's in the regular park or where it's at, but I have never done the skywalk. I would imagine with a 6,000-mile journey. But the skywalk is supposed to be incredible. It's just a big, like, I don't know how long or far out it goes, but it's just a big glass floor that extends out over the Grand Canyon, and you're walking on the sky, this glass looking down at the Grand Canyon, beneath you. Ruckus, have I heard of cannabis-infused water? I have not. Well, no, I've heard of CBD-infused water, so I assume THC-infused water is probably not that much more complicated, but Kappa seems to know the chemistry better than I do. I will definitely check it out. I'd love to. Cannabis-infused hot dog water. I will check them out, Pearl 20. I'll check them out, Ruckus. I've come to quite like cannabis drinks. If you haven't seen my Zasp reviews, I have 2 of them out. Those are the best drinks on the market. I've only had their 240 milligrams, and I've only seen them in like 3 places maybe, and I've been to a fuck ton of dispensaries. They're fucking outrageously good. Zasp is. Holy shit. If you get a chance to try Zasp, give it a go. But I like, I really like Cannabis Quencher too, and then the G-Drink, not their 100 milligram line, which has never done anything for me, but bizarrely their twice as strong one is way more than twice as strong. It's 210 milligrams, and it's great. I've only had it once, so it could have just been, I don't know how consistent it is, but like, I was very impressed with G-Drink, their 210s. Rory, welcome, man. Welcome. Some Khalifa Kush. How was it, Kappa? Was it good stuff? I've never had any myself. And if you guys will excuse me for a moment, and excuse the noise, I'm going to inflate myself another bag here. Just don't let me forget about that, guys. I'm putting you on the chat responsible for not letting that bag explode. So that's on you, not on me. Was dank, super dense. Sounds good. I'll have to check it out. I love it, Kappa. It's I've not eaten anything yet, Rory. We'll get to that. Not yet. Just been doing volcano bags. Volcano Kappa is great. I love it. It's certainly my favorite way to vape, dab, to inhale marijuana, I guess is the verb I'm looking for there. Is my favorite way to get THC into my body that is not edibles. Edibles are, of course, my favorite, but if I have to inhale something, the volcano is the way to go, followed by a nice bong, followed by a PAX, followed by every other shitty thing. Ow! Hurt myself. Son of a bitch. How much do I pack at once? What am I vaping? I am vaping Kimchi OG, guys. It smells a little bit like kimchi. But it's actually pretty good. It's pretty good. It's from a delivery service. It's not my favorite strain I've ever had. Again, well, not again. I've never really articulated this. I don't know if I have or not, but I will go ahead and say this right now. I am not at all good at discerning the differences in strains. I am not even good. I don't even have a particular skill in declaring something indica or sativa. I am more of and I know this is strange because I, do so much of it, but I also find edibles to be sort of the great, what would you call it? The great nullifier. It takes out all the idiosyncrasies and just makes it weed. Or at least that's what I find. But I've never been good at discerning indica, sativa, what kind of strains. I have ones that I do like, that I think I've noticed a difference of, but I can't really say for sure. I'm just, it's not my forte. But again, I just feel like with edibles, everything is it's just weed. Any smell? Asked Kappa about the volcano. There is a little bit of odor to it, but it's pretty discreet. There's some odor to it, but it's way more discreet than like a dab, one of the dab pens, or of course just any actual torching of cannabis. Much more discreet. I keep looking over at my side monitor, where I've got the analytics and shit up instead of at the camera. I'm that high already. This unintended 48-hour tolerance break has hit me a lot fucking harder than I suspected. Holy shit. And Kappa also asked, how much do you pack at once? That is another thing I am not particularly good. I would say it's probably about a half gram in the chamber. Let me show you the chamber. I'll grab it right here. Woo! I just dropped it, but didn't spill. Lucky me, lucky me. Okay, so this is what the chamber looks like. You can discern for yourself maybe how much is in there. I would guess about a half gram. And then I get about three bags out of that one half gram thing, and it's great. It's great. It's good stuff. So yeah, I'd say about a half gram. It's good. It's quick. It's easy. It's easy to set up. It doesn't smell as much as other things. It's not as hard on the lungs. And it retains some of the taste. If you like the taste, it retains some of that taste in the vapor, especially some of the fruitier strands out there. It's good. And then, of course, the best part about it is the AVB leftovers, which stacks up real quickly, really quickly. And then you can use that if you're, if you were somebody who like hosted an edible review show, you could do something like make your own edibles. But if you're just a lazy son of a bitch like me, you can just make firecrackers with them, which is what I do. You'd think I would be a little bit more creative, but I have zero culinary skills. One thing that is probably becoming more and more evident as Wheats goes along is I have very little skills in a lot of things. I don't have a whole lot of skills. If left to die in a forest, if I was dropped off castaway style, I assume I'd last 48 hours. That's being generous to myself. So yeah, no cooking skills whatsoever. That's why I have Volcano, because you just press a button and it does it for you. That's suggesting I'm not technologically savvy. I'm moderately technologically savvy. I've got VR headsets here. I'm streaming something through X. I'm moderately technologically savvy. I've got a smart home. I can say, Alexa, turn off all the lights. I don't know if she'll hear me with the door closed. Probably not. I guess I could try, hey Siri, turn off all the lights. I guess Siri's not gonna. I have 2 fucking robots listening to me all the fucking time in this condo. I have Alexa listening to me, and I've got Siri listening to me constantly, but none of them will respond when you need them. Okay, sorry, Rory. You had asked how much do you pay for bud? Like how much for an eighth? Boy, this is going to segue really nicely into this topic I want to talk about right now, which is brand new dispensaries in Long Beach. Streamers, fireworks, hallelujah, explosions. We have got dispensaries in Long Beach, but boy, oh boy, are they fucking expensive. So I would say in Orange County, Los Angeles County, you're averaging for an eighth, for something decent, like $30 to $40, depending on the strain, maybe more. So, it's good prices, especially from where I'd come from before in the black market. But these new dispensaries in Long Beach, oh my God, it's, like $50 to $60 for an eighth. It's nuts. But, so I've been to, one of them a couple of times, called, the first one that opened, called the Green Room. And their prices aren't good. There's nothing special. And the place is nice, but it's understaffed. You have to wait fucking forever. And their selection on edibles is, as I said, way overpriced. I mean, we're talking 70% markups easily. A brownie at, an Orange County place would cost $10 and would cost, 17 to 20 there. It's nuts. But it's nice. It's a nice place. It's legitimately a nice dispensary. It's called the Green Room. The staff's okay. They don't have any real, like, deal things going on, which is where I like to buy my edibles. I like to, buy them when they're on happy hours and whatnot. But, they're getting there. However, today, I just went to the second one that opened up in Long Beach. It's about equidistant from me, or equidistant. This one is in the fancy district of Long Beach, a very, very well-to-do neighborhood called Belmont Shores. And I went and picked up a couple edibles there that are also super overpriced. And their edibles aren't as badly overpriced as the other place. But their bud definitely is. As I said, it's like $60 for an eighth there. It's a lot. But holy fucking shit, was this the nicest dispensary I have ever been in or could imagine ever being in. It was a work of art. It felt like it should be a dispensary in Beverly Hills, not in Long Beach, California. It was gorgeous. All the weed was set up in these beautiful glass cases that were ornately decorated and wonderfully labeled. But they were actually just there sort of, and then they had a great inventory system where you would give them the name and then the weed would be hanging in these little prepackaged bags all along the wall already, so it was easy for them to get, pre-measured. Their edibles were neatly arranged, beautifully housed, like in these, really nice glass cases. It was just such a fantastically cool place. And then they even have fucking fancy shopping bags. I guess because it's in the fancy shopping district of Long Beach, they feel like they need to have their own. I mean, like this is an expensive thing to produce. This shit ain't cheap, man. So you're paying some of it for this fancy fucking bag. I think they do this as well to bolster their sort of. There's nothing on the outside that says, it just says connected. It doesn't even say Cannabis Co. Because there are a lot of hoity-toity people in this area, and they don't want their area besmirched by a dispensary. So it looks like some upscale salon or something from the outside. You would never know except for the well-dressed security guard outside. But shit, was the place amazing. Too pricey for me. I'm still going to be going to Orange County or other places until some more competition comes into the Long Beach market and starts to drive these prices down. But it was a really cool experience, and it was really neat just to go see it for, at least that one time, just because I've been to a shit ton of dispensaries. But nothing comes close to the one I just saw in there. It's a work of art. You got to check it out. I've been rambling and neglecting the chat here. Kappa says he's got to get him one. I assume he's talking about a volcano. I agree. They're great. They're very expensive, but they're German. They're Deutsch. So they're going to last forever. I think people have been having forever. And then Ruckus asks if I've ever seen Disjointed, the Netflix show. I have not. It is from what I understand, a Chuck Lorre show. The guy who does garbage like... what's that Charlie Sheen show called? 2.5 Men, is that it? And fucking Bazinga. That's all I know about the show is Bazinga. The Big Bang Theory. I think that's that guy, so I stayed far away from it. However, I like Kathy Bates. I think Kathy Bates is awesome. I like the idea of a show being, a smart show being set around dispensaries, and I think a lot of those are fucking coming. Yeah, I stayed away from it. Haven't watched it. Have you watched it, Ruckus? Oh, it's about a guy that made The Big Bang Theory. Oh, you just said that in your. I didn't even read your full comment. What did you think? Well, you said it's a shitty sitcom, but I assume that means you also watch it. Ruckus, from what I understand, there's about to be a glut of television coming our way that involves people in the cannabis industry. Amazon, Netflix, Hulu have picked up, half a dozen pilots each about somebody in the weed industry. So somebody's going to strike green at some point. Somebody's going to make something awesome. I haven't actually watched Weeds. I've seen the first season before I started smoking pot, when I was like a sophomore in college, I think. So way back. I guess it's the high, no pun intended, watermark for weed television so far. But I think that is soon to be eclipsed. And I'm excited. I'm excited for something, smart set in the world of cannabis. What I have been watching, along with the rest of the fucking world, is Stranger Things 2, Stranger Things 2, not Season 2. No spoilers, won't give any spoilers. I was not some, devoted, absolute lover of the first season. I thought it was fun. I thought the 80s thing wore a little thin. I thought it, and, but I enjoyed it. It's no The Americans. It's no Breaking Bad. It's no Westworld even. I enjoyed it. I've got to say though, season 2 I have liked. I don't know if it's actually any better than season 1, because all the problems that were in season 1 are still there for sure. but I've enjoyed it more. I'm on the I just finished the penultimate episode, so I just have the finale to go. So that's what I've been watching on Netflix recently. And if you guys haven't seen American Vandal yet, which I was fucking recommending to you the day it came out, I just watched it on a lark. You must watch American Vandal. It is a work. It's a spoof that nobody's done spoofs this well since, like, you know, the days of Airplane and Mel Brooks. It's awesome, fucking awesome. Oh shit, we're on episode 9 now too. That's I'm super excited. You know, to see how it all wraps up. I'm not trying not to. I almost said something like, "Oh, that X was really Y," but I caught myself. Because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, because there are a lot of things to spoil in that season 2. And Netflix is making a new Lost in Space series. I did read that somewhere. I saw that. I think I saw that earlier in the year. I think they're going for like a harder edge to it. Boy, oh boy. I will totally admit to this. I saw it in theaters in 99, I guess, when it came out. I think it was in like 7th grade. The Lost in Space remake. What a dreadfully awful, abysmally terrible, soul-crushingly bad. I mean, like, I have no affinity for the original Lost in Space. I'd seen reruns when I was a little kid and things, but there's no love lost there. But what a just cynical, awful, bolted together by committee piece of shit movie that was. And I rewatched it last year. I was super high and I wanted to just trash something. I just wanted to hate watch something. And I fucking rewatched it. And it's every bit as bad and perplexingly bad as you remember. And I don't know why I'm spending so much time talking about the Lost in Space remake from like 1999 with Matt LeBlanc. What the fuck am I doing? I got a full volcano bag here. Fucking Joey. Agreed. Matt LeBlanc, man. And who else was in that? William fucking Hurt was in it. Incredible actor William Hurt was Papa Lost in Space, whatever. Papa Danger Will Robinson. Okay, guys. So I made notes this time, as you can see here. Talking points, as Republicans call them. Because last time I tried to make notes right before the show started, but I was already really high. And I'm going to read to you what my notes from last live stream was when I just got back from my tolerance break. Topics. Start with what you've eaten. Show Canico, plate, and box. I can't remember shit. I can't remember. What the fuck? Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. And that were my show notes from last time. So this time, I've got some talking points to really keep me on track. Tolerance, guys. I went over this a little bit at the beginning. My tolerance is still... Alright, Roy, alright. Oh, Lacey Chabert was in it. I only picked up 2 things from this dispensary because it was so goddamn expensive. But I'm excited about them both. I picked up 2 new products. Strictly Edibles chocolate chip cookie. Medical cannabis. Really ugly packaging, I think, if I'm being honest. Just not the best artwork. It's just, and then the back is even worse. That's just kind of shitty art. Like, what is that border? And then they have all different kinds of pot leaves. They all just kind of don't blend at all. Anyways, I got that. And then I also got Flavor X, or Flav Prescription, or Flavor X, or Flavorix. Oh, dude. Hey! I am doing great, man. I am super high already. I was talking about my tolerance until Rory yelled at me for not getting straight to the edible. So I've heard that these are pretty popular. I've never actually seen them until this trip to the dispensary, but they have a shit ton of reviews on weed maps, which, guys, that is a major topic and will be a topic for a future video coming up. Hint, hint, spoiler, spoiler. We are going to be talking about weed maps in the future and why you should not trust anything you read there. And to answer your question, I am very stoned. So, you guys can pick. What am I going to be doing? The Strictly Edibles chocolate chip cookie or the Flavor RX flavor prescription? Yes. Yes, they are. Yes, they are, Kappa, and it's even worse when it comes to their brands, their actual brands. It's really, really bad. Ruckus, both. Ruckus, hell no. Rory, both. Rory, hell no. I will die. I will literally die. But you guys can pick one. You can pick one. One of the two. It's like, you're getting scolded in elementary school, If you can't pick one, you'll just have to get none. Both. The cookie. Okay, the cookie. Sorry. Oh, shit. Okay, we'll do a vote. Flavor X mint chocolate cookie, mint cookie bar thing, or chocolate chip cookie by Strictly Edibles, the one I shit-talked their packaging a lot, and then Flavor X, which I don't know how to pronounce. If it's Flavor X, if it's Flavrix, or if it's Flav Prescription, or whatever it's supposed to be. The second, what was the second, Rory? Cookie. All right, it's just going to be the cookie. See, now, Ruckus, I was trying to keep that secret because I was trying to prevent from having to eat the more potent one. But the cookie was already selected anyways. The cookie is 300 milligrams. Now, guys, I'm not going to eat it all right off the bat. I'm going to eat some of it. I'm going to eat a nice big bite. And then I'll come back to it as time goes on. I got to build a... Oh, excuse me. Woo! I gotta build that suspense, and then I also had to burp there. Oh, fuck nuggets. Don't you hate it when they don't have like a little tear thing on these things? Like, the fuck are you supposed to do if you're at a movie, and you want to open your edible? Which is where I consume a lot of my edibles. Oh, guys, and speaking of... Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at this bad boy. Ooh. Oh, shit, it's all crumbly. It's all crumbly and messed up in there. I hate it when that happens. It's all broken up. Well, I'll just have to take it in small chunks. That's okay. Not a good cookie, but far from a bad edible cookie. I would not eat this cookie if it didn't have weed in it. Actually, very little. Yeah, it should come in a box so it doesn't get all smashed up. Very little cannabis taste, but it doesn't taste. It also doesn't taste like a chocolate chip cookie necessarily, if that makes any sense. It's got a less sweet taste to it, almost more a sort of more cardboardy kind of taste, and that's kind of a bad metaphor, but like, but it's for an edible, it's not bad. I've had way worse chocolate chip cookies, and if it's really 300 milligrams, that's pretty good. If it's really 300 milligrams, we'll have to find out. Although my judgment at this point of how much something is milligrammage-wise is way off. As somebody has asked earlier, to rewind time a bit, crazy last month since I got off this tolerance break. I should have been doing this tolerance break this month, or this past month instead of the month before last. Real work got very busy. I had some monster writing assignments that I had to get in. Really the biggest things I've ever had to write in my life. among other things, just general life rearing its ugly head up and getting in the way of getting high. So my tolerance has never really gotten back up to where I needed to be to start reviewing products again. Which, again, my my review queue ends next week, and I don't have anything to fill it with. I am working on Wheat's projects, but they're not. Those had to. They're still being worked on, and they will come out at some point. But with this past month being so busy in the job that, or the life and the job that actually pays me, the Wheats projects have taken a bit of a backseat. But they'll still be out. They'll still be out. But I need to build my tolerance back up, which I'm hoping to do, so that I can start to accurately and fairly review things again. I don't need it to be where it was at before. It doesn't have to be as high as it was before. I just need to be comfortable enough being able to gauge how potent something actually is. And at this point, I don't think I am, especially after this unforced or this unintended 48-hour tolerance break that I'm breaking right now. Rory Orella says, put up that interview. Rory, you've got a good memory. Rory is referring to an interview that I did with Flourish. In the interview, here's some Wheats deep trivia for you. The interview was actually up for about half an hour 1 month ago on the YouTube page. We've since had to pull it here at Wheats HQ. Something came up at Flourish HQ that had to have them delay the release of said interview. But it will still be coming. It's just I unfortunately can't talk about it much more than that right now. The review or the interview is still coming. It's already been done, but we just have to wait for something for it to come out. But if you were lucky, like one of the 15 viewers who got to see it, you got to see like a nice, like 40-minute chat on the beach with the head of Flourish. Nice fellow. But look for that in the future. Other Wheats projects are coming. As I said, like the reviews of just actual companies instead of products, like those are coming. We've got some special projects coming up. The aforementioned, we'll be talking about weed maps in the future. Why you shouldn't trust those fuckers. All that fun stuff. Hopefully, and I think it's going to slow down a little bit, if not entirely halt the stuff, professional stuff. So hopefully I'll be able to get back on track, get that tolerance boosted way the fuck back up, start cranking out some new product reviews, especially now that we're getting dispensaries opening up in Long Beach, and I can just like, oh my god, guys, I reviewed this in the last live stream too, so if you want to like, tell us how much you hate LOL edibles. Here, I will share you. Here's how much I hate LOL edibles, Rory. Now you got me too high, and I'm revealing secrets here. I'll read to you one paragraph of the script. From our LOL edibles review. Let's see. Let's just pick one here. One of the cardinal rules of edibles is you get what you pay for, with a few exceptions. And when you pay $10 for an edible that claims to have 400 milligrams of THC, unless you see an independent laboratory verifying that, I would be highly skeptical of that claim. And LOL Edibles is the king of these shenanigans. Paragraph of an upcoming... Now, I hope I didn't spoil your appetite for the real deal when it comes out, but there's also... That's maybe the one paragraph in there that doesn't have profanity. Not that my reviews generally have profanity. Not that I'm anti-fanity. I'm pro-fanity. I am pro-profanity. I'm as profanity as a motherfucker can be. But I don't just add it in... Well, maybe I do, because it's fucking funny. I don't know. I love profanity. I think it's funny. I'll always love profanity. I will also always, and this is, we can tell how high I am already. We're getting some deep dark secrets. I've said before, and I maintain to this day, that the moment I no longer find farts to be funny is the moment I wish to die. Because all humor and all joy from my life will have to have been extinguished for me not to find a fart hilarious. I mean, they're so funny. They're nature's, they're kind of like your body's natural marijuana. They stink and they provide everybody joy, you know. They just, I love them. Love them. They're so great. They're so funny. They're so fucking funny. So yeah, if you ever hear me not laughing when somebody, you know, breaks wind or not laughing at a good fart joke, you have my permission to straight up old yeller me. Because I've gone rabid. That would be the only excuse. Oh no! Brendan Welsh says, have pneumonia, snagged a Corova 150 milligram and ended up here while looking it up. I hope you're having a good one, dude. Well, I hope your pneumonia, Brennan, is not too serious, because I hope you are not geriatric or experiencing any other kind of health issues, because pneumonia can be generally life-threatening for people whose, you know, immune systems are already compromised, or the elderly, or the especially young, or the especially infirmed. So, Brendan Welsh, I hope your pneumonia is progressing well. I don't mean that sounds terrible. Brendan Welsh, I wish you no longer had pneumonia, and I wish you all the enjoyment of that 150 milligram Corova that you picked up. And if you're still in the chat, Brendan, which of the 150 milligrams did you get? My guess is going to be the Saturday morning breakfast cookie. The Saturday morning cookie, that's what it's called. Is that which one you got, Brendan? The Saturday morning cookie? They have, if I can remember this correctly, they've got the Saturday morning cookie, the ginger chew, the white chocolate pistachio, the chocolate chip, and then the 150 milligram brownie. Oh, okay, so you got the three best. You got the three best out of them there. Oh, nice, dude. The 150 milligram Corova line is one of my favorites, dude. It is so good. All of their cookies in that line are good. They all taste good in that line. I think my favorite out of that line is the ginger chew. It's probably my all-time favorite because I like molasses cookies, man. They're so good. And Corova does it really well. But the Saturday morning cookie is probably a close second. But yeah, dude, love those Corova 150s. And I hope you get to feeling better, man, because pneumonia certainly sucks. Taking another bite of cookie here, guys, so mark that one off. You know I did. Whew. Okay. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah. We were talking about, at one point, I obliquely mentioned something at one point, and now I'm referring back to it again, I guess is what I really mean. Talking about the Strictly Edibles. And I said, well, you know, why don't they have a little easy tear thing? You got to have scissors, because what if you're at a movie or something? Brings me no end of joy, no matter how foul the movie. One of my great loves in life is eating an edible and going to the theater. Oh, dude, they are so good, Sebastian. Welcome, Sebastian. Welcome, and I'm glad you're enjoying those terabytes. They're so good. I wasn't even expecting to. I don't even generally like, you know, espresso. I would assume I've tried, you know, chocolate covered espresso beans before and did not like them, and yet these have cannabis in them, and I found them to be like great, genuinely great. They're amazing. I love them. Rory being rude. Pneumonia rocks. Oh boy. Oh, so yes, going back, rewind in time. I was bitching about something. Griping. Sorry, bitching is a bad. Are we still allowed to use? And by we, I mean, what is the consensus on using bitching as a verb? Is it gendered? Are we not allowed to use it? Does it have negative connotations attached to it? Or are we allowed to? Or is it still permissible to call something bitching as complaining? I find myself using it still, but I hope I'm not. You know, I hope it's not. It doesn't come from a gendered place. Sebastian says Soho. I think delightful is the word. Delightful is a perfect word for it, Sebastian. Perfect. Back to what I was talking about. Strictly edibles. No tear packaging. One of my favorite experiences in life. Pure joy. Love it. Is definitely going to the movies while high. We are very lucky to have an amazing theater close by, which has awesome deals. Like Tuesdays, everything's like $5. Early bird, first showing of the day, everything's like $5, $6. And and they have reclining seats, which is the best. So awesome. Just get really high and go see a movie. It's bliss to me. It's my happy place is the movie theater while high. I haven't done that as much as I would like recently because even with my lowered expectations for films, because I will see not great stuff just because I love the experience so much. This past 2 months has been so fucking dreadful for the film industry and box office in general. Except, let me throw up an asterisk here. Caveat emptor, son. That Blade Runner 2049. Holy shit. Not only did I see that Blade Runner 2049 while high, right after my tolerance break, 2 or 3 days after, I saw it in not 1, not 2, not even 3 Ds, but 4 Ds, and then add an X on the end. What is that X for? Who knows? How is it in the 4th dimension? I'm not moving through space-time. I don't know. But is it awesome? Yes! It's so awesome, in fact, it was one of my very few cherry on tops that I did from my tolerance break series of videos. 40X movies. They're cheesy as fuck. I mean, they shouldn't work. They shouldn't be as enjoyable as they are. But goddamn are they a blast. Blade Runner 2049 is a terrible movie to see in 40X, but it's still awesome. It's slow and ponderous and not a lot happens at points. And I don't mean that disparaging in any way, shape, or form because I love Blade Runner 2049. Loved it. But it is a very, deliberately paced, very methodical movie that does not lend itself to a theme park sort of ride that the 40X is. But even in that more muted setting, it was still a fucking blast. It doesn't help. It doesn't hurt, rather, when you're high as shit, too. If you ever, guys, get the opportunity to go to a 40X theater, you've got to do it. You've got to do it. Unfortunately, I think... I know for a while there were only 2 in the country, Los Angeles and New York, but I think they have been adding more. I think it's been expanding. So if it ever comes to a market near you, fucking give it a try. It is so stupid. It is so stupid. It's so stupid, but it is so much fun. You'll be smiling the entire time. I've seen Star Wars there, Episode 7, and I saw Rogue One there, and I saw the most recent Star Trek there, Star Trek Beyond, when they started just making their title sentences. Star Trek Into Darkness, Star Trek Beyond. Saw that one too. Have I seen Baby Driver? I have seen Baby Driver, and I also loved it. I'm an Edgar Wright fan. I'm even you can handle it, Rory. Trust me, you can handle it. As a matter of fact, story time. Sebastian, I'll get back to how good Baby Driver is in just a second. But one of the very first times I did edibles, maybe the third time I had tried an edible, and it was also way more than I had ever done before, was at a 40X movie. And it was at a similarly slow-paced movie. It was don't judge me. I was actually visiting Los Angeles at the time. I was moving here in a month. I was here visiting. I wasn't actually moved here, but I wanted to do it. And they were playing the final Hunger Games movie. And I saw it. And I saw it while on an edible. And I was nearly as high as I've ever been in my entire life. I remember turning to my partner at one point, and just because it was such an intense experience, I was like, if we make it through this must be what it feels like to win the Super Bowl. My partner turned back and said, yeah, or climb Mount Everest. It was that intense, but you can make it through, and you will be glad that you did. It'll just make the experience that much more fun. I wish I could tell you what the experience was like on shrooms, having only done shrooms once and having not really had much of an effect from them. I'm defeated on shrooms, but the moment the opportunity arises to try shrooms again, I will be jumping on it. I conceptually love the idea of shrooms and their medicinal and therapeutic value. The studies that just keep pouring out about how much psilocybin mushrooms or just, I guess, hallucinogenics like LSD or mushrooms in general can help with things like PTSD or actually a panoply of mental illnesses. It's just so great. It's so great that initial research is just so alluring. And then when some of the surveys that have been taken of people who have done mushrooms before, excuse me, I don't know if it was mushrooms or LSD. I think it was mushrooms. 4 out of the 5, according to like a trial group in a study where they basically, gave people mushrooms and then like a longitudinal study and followed it up with them years later. 4 out of the 5 people, 80% of the survey respondents said that getting high on shrooms was one of the most profound, one of the top 5 most profound experiences of their life, and profound in a purely good way, like in an absolutely, not like when you get way too high and you get anxious and paranoid, and that can still be profound. But this is just, like the experience has left nothing but positive for them. And then the other thing that is just so fascinating to me is the research coming out that, continues to pour out, suggesting that it can help you cope with your own sense of mortality. That to me is just crazy. I mean, we're all just, trying to hide from our existential, the knowledge that we're all going to die. We're all just, living existential, we're all in a non-existential panic because we refuse to listen to that voice in the back of our head that says we're going to die. But if mushrooms could make you more okay with that, if it could help you just, I don't know. I lost the thread of what I'm talking about, but it sounds great still. I'm still on board. I'm still down to try. Roy says I should go pick them for myself. And he says they really do change how you think forever. And I have heard both. I have heard that. And it just, eye-opening, mind-expanding. Those are the adjectives. Are those adjectives? I don't even know my parts of speech anymore. That come to, I often hear when talking about mushrooms. Now, Roy, I've heard that the most common place to find these mushrooms is under cow shit. Is that true? Are they often are the gold caps often hiding under under like cow pies? Is that how you've done it, Rory? Is that how you've done it? Is by picking them yourself, or do you have somebody you you get a dealer from. And back to deer shit. Oh, so little pellets. Look under pellets. Okay. Look under deer shit. Pro tip. If I'm ever back in East Tennessee. Excuse me. Sebastian. Sorry I lost the thread there, buddy. Oh, good. That's probably the best way to go. Because you really probably don't want to be fucking around with mushrooms unless you absolutely know what you're doing. Those morels will kill you. And Sebastian, Baby Driver, awesome. Loved it from the summer. Saw it super high. Just wonderful experience. Love Edgar Wright. I'm one of those Edgar Wright weirdos, though, that does not think that either Shaun of the Dead or Hot Fuzz is his best movie. Sorry. I actually think that far and away Edgar Wright's best movie is his least appreciated, also of the Cornetto trilogy, At World's End. At World's End is an incredible movie. Holy shit, it's definitely Edgar Wright's best movie. I think if people say it's the worst, it's just because I don't want to say they didn't get it, but maybe they missed the point. That's exactly the same thing. I don't know why people don't find it to be as good as the other two when it is clearly the best of the Cornetto trilogy. Clearly his most ambitious movie, and clearly his most personal. I don't know. Loved it. Cal's work too. Or people. Well, here in Los Angeles, I'll have to, or Los Angeles County, there are plenty of people shitting out on the, out in the bushes and the sidewalk. Maybe I'll just have to flip some of it up and see if there's some mushrooms underneath. But I think I won't do that. That's actually, it makes me want to throw up just thinking about that. So, let's see. What else do we have on the old talking points list? Oh, guys, yeah. Recently, and surprising me too, I tried Kratom again. Just kind of on a lark. It was late in the evening. I was looking for something a little different. I was like, oh, and I have so much of it left. I have a shit ton of Kratom left. If you didn't follow the tolerances dispatches from the tolerance break, I think that's what we call it. Shit, I am high. Oh, there's nothing even left in this bag anymore. I've just been holding on to it for so long. It's on the suggestion of a couple of people, I tried Kratom, and I found it interesting, but not really for me. It didn't really. The first batch I got had negligible, I mean, more than negligible, because there was something to it, effects on me, but it just wasn't, it was barely there. But then I tried a new batch, and it worked better. And then once the tolerance break was up, actually a couple days before it, I was like, oh, okay, I've tried Kratom. I enjoyed it. I did it probably 5 or 6 times while on the tolerance break. And I thought I'd never do it again, but I have so much of it. I have like 500 grams of it left or something, which is a lot. So it's like, oh, maybe I'll just try some. And it was pleasant. So it must have been something more to it if it made me want to desire to go back to it. So obviously there was some draw to it. This stuff that I have right now, the red Malay, I think is what it is. Malay, I don't know how to pronounce it. Malay, I'm going to go with. Kappa, you checking out? Later, man. Thank you so much for watching, buddy. So that's what I had sort of seen from the Reddit side of Kratom. Nice. What are you, Kappa, now that I've built up myself a good case of the munchies, let me know what you're going to be eating so I can be jealous before you go. Oh, man, food sounds so fucking good right now. Holy shit. So is that your experience as well, Rory? Is that you've got to just you got to keep experimenting, you got to try a bunch of different strains until you find that one that just is, perfectly suited to your brain chemistry. Oh, some thin crust za. All right, Kappa, you slam that za, buddy. Thanks for watching, man. Oh, not sure. The world is your oyster. You can have any food that you want then. It's not predetermined. Well, actually, I'm a determinist. I mean, actually, I'm not at all. I mean, it depends on your interpretation of what goes on in the double slit experiment. But I am a quasi-determinalist. So yes, what you're eating tonight is already determined, but it doesn't have to be entirely determined because of things like quantum fluctuations. But that's neither here nor there. We're not talking about quantum fluctuations. We are talking about, I'm going to take another bite of this Strictly Edibles cookie. Oh, that's a big chunk. Woo, that's a big old chunk. Later, Kappa. Whew. I'm at an, oh boy. Judging by my inability to get a sentence out and my general inability to remember exactly what happened in the second before this second, I'd say I'm at a good 9 right now. I am really fucking high. This is actually the first time I've talked about how high I am outside of when I first started. I'm not. This is not a review or an endorsement of. Ooh, I might have to check that out, Rory. I might have to take your advice and check that out, just to have, for on occasion or whatever. Because again, it's like 3 weeks later. But this is not an endorsement of Strictly Edibles, but I am damn high right now. I don't know if it has anything to do with the Strictly Edibles or if it's just the bag or whatever the case may be. But I am ready to watch that Stranger Things finale. Emerald Born... talking with my mouth full. Okay, Roy, what is HB&M? That's a vendor that I never came across. Yeah, that sounds quite wonderful. Kratom. It's a weird stuff. It's the first time I did it, I had capsules, which were easy, and you just took some water. I mean, they were fucking horse pills. They were the biggest capsules I've ever had to swallow in my life for anything. But, they were gel caps. So they were no big deal. The stuff that I've been doing stands... Okay. Gotcha, man. Thank you, Roy. The stuff that I've got now is just crushed leaf. And I've just been taking a big spoon... doing what they call in the old Kratom community, the old wash and toss. Toss and wash. Wash and toss. Daniel Tosh. That's where you just put some water in your mouth and take it down. I don't mean to be talking about Kratom this much. I mean to be talking about weed more. It's so T-dubs. T-dubs. What is T-dubs? I'm so high. Oh shit, my god, guys, while I was on my tolerance break, I started to get back into video games. I mean, I've never really not been into video games, but life got in the way and I got older and I stopped playing them as much or stopped being invested in them as much. But then when I was on this tolerance break and I had all this time, Sebastian asks, random, I'm sure you've answered this before, but how does Korova compare to Kaneko? Can't find Canna on the east. My jealousy runneth over. He's got incredible punctuation, and great references. Esteban comes in with a Kaneko is king, and that is the truth. Kaneko is king. But Sebastian, again, I'm really still impressed by your punctuation. I love it when people love some good grammar. Give me that colon, son. And I did not mean to just say, give me that colon, son, out loud. Maybe I did. Who knows? Korova, they compare favorably. I mean, you're not missing out on anything light years ahead of Kurova, for sure. But Kaneko is better. It is better. It tastes better and it's stronger. Like a 500 milligram or one of the 500 milligram Kurovas is, they're both don't taste very good, like the 5150 and then especially the Wretchworthy fucking second worst tasting edible I've ever had, which is sad because everything else from Kurova is so amazing. The awful salted caramel blondie. Compare that to a Kaneko 500 milligram, which, I mean, they don't taste great, and you're not going to want to, eat those like you would eat a normal brownie, but the taste profile, I mean, it's just light and day difference. And the 500 milligram Kaneko is going to hit you harder too. I when I was at my peak tolerance, I could do a Kurova 5150 and be, super incredibly, unbelievably high, but I could function. It took me 3 or 4 times to finally actually get a review out of one of the Kaneko 500 milligrams because I kept going to sleep. It was so strong. I don't want to oversell the difference. I don't want to oversell the difference here, Sebastian. But Kaneko, yeah, if you get the opportunity, if it shows up, you've got to purchase it. And when you say on the East, do you mean East California, East Coast? Are you talking about are you finding somebody to get you Kurova, on the East Coast, or are you talking about East? Where East? Because I'm trying to think if there's anywhere that I would know that would have Kaneko. Oh, New York City. Okay, so that explains why you're getting Kurova, is because Kurova is ubiquitous out here, and it can be found almost anywhere. You are getting you're getting a top 5 edible company for sure. Edible experience, Sebastian. You don't need to feel too jealous. Whoever's supplying you with those Kurova, they're not doing wrong by you. If Kaneko is, and I don't know if it's just a problem with their production, like if they don't start on the production capacity or what, but it is just crazy. It is crazy to me that they are not bigger than they are. I mean, I see them in, maybe a third to a quarter of the dispensaries that I see Kurova in. Easily a quarter. It's just, I just don't know why they're not everywhere. Why they're not somebody like LOL Edibles, which is in literally every dispensary in Los Angeles and Orange counties. And they're, garbage. They're terrible. And Kaneko, the undisputed king, is lost by themselves. So Sebastian, unfortunately, it's the KKK of edibles. Have you, because those are the 3 best in my opinion, although there are some other contenders, have you had a chance to try Kiva yet? Kiva is my favorite until a new review comes out next week. Chocolate bar that I've had. They are advertised at pretty low potencies at like 180 milligrams at their highest one. But Kiva is, they taste incredible. I mean, like you would eat that chocolate like you would eat a Godiva square. It's incredible tasting. And they punch, twice outside their weight class. Me too, Sebastian. Me too. I imagine all the edibles have to be highway robbery out there because the markup to get them to you through the black market, has to be at least somewhat substantial. So I feel for you. I hope New York gets their head on straight soon and starts to embrace the marijuana industry like the West Coast has. I have a feeling, I mean, New York, especially with, you know, well, the problem with New York is there's a lot of, Bang is good. Bang is good, Sebastian. Bang is second best chocolate. You probably haven't seen it just because there are not that many Kiva bars out there that I have. There's so many Bang. Like, Bang has all kinds of flavors, and they have all kinds of different sizes. If you search for Kiva on my profile, you will see me talk about Kiva, and especially, I think, my final review for them and how great that they are. Bang is good. Bang is like a workhorse edible. You know, they'll get you solidly high, but they are not. They are actually, I wouldn't say they're even in the same league as Kiva. Well, that's not fair. They're close. It's just that Kiva is milligram for milligram more potent, and certainly tastes better. Not that Bang tastes bad. It's just Kiva is delicious. But I feel like okay, good. Then you're fine. You're fine. You're not. If you've got Kiva, stick with Kiva. You're fine. You're fine. Kiva is, well, yeah. Bang has some more interesting flavors and interesting combinations and that kind of stuff. And I do not mean to disparage Bang in any way. They make good stuff. They make really great edibles. They're just Kiva is the way to go when it comes to chocolate bars. However, spoiler review for next week's one of the final reviews I have in the queue. Gotta get working here. Is for a chocolate bar that is. It feels like it has to be an anomaly. That was the last, I think, product that I made. The second to last thing I took before my tolerance break, and I haven't been back to that dispensary or any dispensary that carries it. But Defonce, Defonce with some accent mark over an E somewhere. I think it's French. I'm going to say it ostentatiously like Defonce. It was insane. I believe it was also 180 milligrams. Holy shit. It floored me. It was as good as Kiva in terms of potency. Maybe better. I don't know. Maybe better. I can't say for sure. And then the chocolate. Oh my god. Fuck, the chocolate was so good. The chocolate, I think, was actually better than Kiva's chocolate. It was crazy. I never had anything quite like it. I'm looking forward to finding some more of them. If you see Defonce in your travels anywhere, I've only tried it once, so it could have been an incredible batch. Again, that's Defonce, I think. Chocolatier. Holy shit, it was such a great experience. I'm looking forward to reviewing some more. Should still watch my review next week. But yes, very, very excited for it. And oh shit, that's how high I'm getting for it. I'm getting excited for finding it again and reviewing some more of their stuff because first, you don't get first experiences that good that often. Yeah. That's what she said. Excuse me. Oh, Esteban! Damn, you nearly got one, dude. Once you got to go back to that dispensary and try it. I'm going to find some places that carry them and do some other reviews. If you want to wait, just to make sure that they're super reliable. But damn, was it good. Really, really liked it. That's a little spoiler. So, my edible intake actually over the past, since my tolerance break has been over with, is I've been eating the very few edibles that I've done. I haven't done many. I did the one when I first did that live stream. I had one for Blade Runner 2049, which was awesome. And then just a smattering of others. But I have done a lot of firecrackers. Made a lot of firecrackers over the past couple of weeks. And boy, that is not a fun way of doing edibles. They taste gross. And I really layer the weed in, man. I've got some AVB from my volcano. Layer that shit in between layers of Nutella. Eat it. It'll get you where you want to be, or it has been getting me where I want to be. But I'm glad to be back to nicer, greener pastures. So, Sebastian, can you, you don't have to reveal too much. I'm just genuinely curious, what is the New York City weed market like? I have an impression, I don't know if you've ever seen the incredible either web series and then eventual HBO series. Oh shit, we were just who was I talking to about weed shows? You gotta watch High Maintenance. High Maintenance on HBO. It's incredible. It's the weed show that you want to watch. It's already out, and it's already perfect. How did I forget about it? It's incredible. High Maintenance on HBO or the web series on Vimeo. Oh, nice, dude. I don't think you can go wrong with that, Esteban. I think you're gonna be just fine with that 1,000 milligram Canico. So, Sebastian, if you've ever seen High Maintenance, is that what the New York City is it super sophisticated? Is it basically like, legal? Is it just so easy to find, almost legitimate dealers out there? Of course, with the caveat that it's still illegal. I'm just so interested it seems so sophisticated for what is it still ostensibly an illegal product. I've known some other people from New York City that, have no problems getting like a diverse selection of weed products. They can choose between just as many strains as I can and have a selection of edibles, and they always have the latest vape cartridges and stuff. Oh yes, Sebastian, you've got to. Oh my God, it is a wonderful, wonderful show. I started watching it from the web series before it was ever an HBO show, and it's great because it's a rare, good-natured show too, which you would think, oh, that's weird for for a show about pot, but I don't mean that. It's just like it has warmth about humanity to it. I can't say enough I can't regard it highly enough. We'll leave it that way. I figured that was kind of the case, Sebastian, that the pipeline from the West Coast is just as wide as the pipeline here, but you have to be willing to pay for it. So how easy is it to, let's say you are just moving to New York City and you want to, you don't know anybody, but you want to get all your California favorites. How easy is it to find somebody to get weed from? Pop culture has led me to believe that it's quite easy, but in the rare times in my life, which is really when my pot dealer in where I was from before was like gone for 2 months, I was never able to find a replacement. I didn't know what to do to find somebody else. But from my impression in New York City, it's just like, it's more or less advertised, which is mind-boggling to me, knowing that it's still legal, but it's decriminalized, I guess. Is that how people do it? Is they use Instagram as a weed market? Do you just like search for a hashtag or something and then DM someone? That's clever if that's the case. Oh, wow. Yeah, that would be very cool. But I assume, Sebastian, there's some backwards people in the state of New York, especially as you get up north. But with New York City they're going to get their head on straight at some point about marijuana regulations, and you guys are going to get legalized, or at least California style legalized, recreational, where it might as well, or excuse me, medicinal that might as well be recreational. That's awesome. Wow, I had no idea that's how it was done. That's so cool and so sophisticated, I think. Instagram edibles, New York City. Huh. Yes, Well, that all depends. There's one caveat on this as well, as with everything in life. And he's the Keebler elf in the White House, the little diminutive. You wish you weren't so adorable because he's so evil. Jefferson Beauregard Sessions. Jefferson Beauregard Sessions are wonderful and, in the words of Donald Trump, beleaguered Attorney General, who thinks that people who smoke weed are just as bad as those who are in the KKK. So that's bad. That's very bad. Wait, Rory, I just assumed, dude, you were Slimy Beaners in the house, which I can say because he's given me permission. Roy, where are you? I thought you were in... Yes, fuck Jeff Sessions so hard in the face. Fuck him with a diseased dick. Fuck him with multiple diseased dicks in the face. In his mouth hole and in his eye holes. And I generally don't advocate for, extreme measures, but in Jeff Sessions' case, in the entire administration, so you're in NYC too, or you're in New York as well too. Oh, dude, I had no idea. So you're using the same underground markets as Sebastian there. Man, I love that. I love. I would love for some. There should be a maybe there is. I've never actually read High Times, but that would be a wonderful investigative piece for High Times. Well, maybe not, because maybe then you alert the authorities to it. But I would love to know how it got started that Instagram was the way that the edible market is the way that the edible market manifests itself, or is the marketplace in which you buy things from. That's so bizarre to me. That is so weird. I would love to know the history of it, but maybe at the same time don't, because then you're maybe shutting down the best venue for people in New York to get edibles. And which is something we certainly don't want to have happen. A little more cookie. This is dumb because I'm just getting higher. Okay, now, because you fancy schmancy. Oh, sweet, Roy. Must have been like heaven. That was my first marijuana trip, was to Colorado. Back in the year of our Lord 2014, I am eating a Strictly Edibles chocolate chip cookie, 300 milligrams of THC, and my buddy Slimy. I was at a 9 about, time has ceased to really function in any kind of proper way. So I'm going to assume about 19 hours ago, I was at about a 9. So I assume now I'm somewhere these 26 hours later, somewhere around a 9.1 and getting higher. 300 milligrams, damn, yes. No, Slimy, that is not, I had to do this earlier. This is no way an endorsement Oh shit! Slimy, this is in no way an endorsement of Strictly Edibles. I do not take this as gospel that this is a great product. I am not in fighting shape. I'm not in my edible weight class. I gotta go through some conditioning before I can tell you how good things are. To very briefly recap, my tolerance is not yet built up as much as I need it to be to start reviewing products again. Real life has gotten in the way. Had a bunch of big projects. A bunch of stuff came up in the past month. Haven't actually done as much weed or edibles as I normally would. Thus, my tolerance is still lowered. Further lowering by the fact that I actually hadn't had anything before this, for like 48 hours before this. So I just assume that I'm, anything can get me super high at this point. Slimy. Not that Strictly Edibles is good. That was a long-ass explanation, but it should also highlight or help point out. I know there's a better word for it. If I weren't so fucking high, I could tell you what it is. My vocabulary would be beyond that of Donald Trump's. Oh, man, I didn't mean to get so political. It's okay to say, like, fuck Jeff Sessions because he's an enemy of weed, but fuck Donald Trump. Not to get political, but seriously, fuck Donald Trump. Dude's a teetotaler, if nothing else. So, where was I? Oh, God. Oh, yes! I remember where I was at from like a half an hour ago. Video games. Fuck. On that tolerance break. Happy Dia de los Muertos yourself. But, Rory, the problem with that, there is one problem with that. And that means I have to fucking give money, again, to companies that want to basically defraud customers. Which is what I consider, like, Voodoo Sours and LOL Edibles to be doing. Is defrauding people. I mean, especially in a state where it's medical, that you use for medicinal purposes. I mean, some people genuinely do. And I'm not trying to disparage those people at all. And those people who do, when they see a dosage on the package that is obviously a lie, that, you know, they're expecting it from medication. I mean, they're doing it for medicinal purposes, for therapeutic purposes. And that's, you know, you would be incensed if you found out your fucking Simvastatin was, you know, a third, or in LOL Edibles cases, 100th, or in Voodoo Sours' cases, a 10 millionth as potent as advertised, you know, as your actual Simvastatin or whatever. I don't know where the name Simvastatin came from. I think it's like a heart, blood pressure medication, maybe. I don't know. I have no idea where Simvastatin came from. I was just like, whew. Yeah, and I am, Rory, I thank you. I think you're right. It would be a cool experiment. But I just, man, having to give money to shitty people who just fuck over, you know, people who genuinely need their products. Fuck that. That's why I have some strongly worded reviews coming up. Gummies, thumbs down from Sebastian, aside from Cushy Punch. My first experience with Cushy Punch, Sebastian, was their high milligram TKO 200 milligram one, and it did nothing for me. I swore them off, but then I had so many people ask me to review their other ones that I did review their lower dosage ones, and they actually hit me quite a bit harder than the actual 200 milligram one. And after doing some research, I have since seen that seems to be the case with Cushy Punch, is that Cushy Punch suffers from something that a lot of edible companies seem to suffer from, which is inconsistency. They just, they're not, you know, some batches are more potent than others, which is a problem. Like, that should not be happening. And that seems to be a case with a lot of people with Cushy Punch. So I might actually re-review their TKO 200 milligram again, especially just to see if it, you know, once my tolerance is built back up, to see if, you know, maybe there's something about that batch in particular, or if maybe just their 200 milligram one is somehow labeled as less strong as their 100 milligram one. But that's something I've seen with them. I actually like their 100 milligram ones quite a bit. So I've come around on Cushy Punch, but I at some point like to re-review their 200 one because I had a dud of an experience the first time. Now, Sebastian, I've got to tell you, I had the exact same opinion on gummies. I used to have a slogan on this joint: "Don't be a gummy. Don't be a gummy. Don't be a dummy. Waste your money on gummies." That was until I discovered Flourish. I assume they seem to be expanding at a rapid pace. Flourish, I see them all. I mean, they seem to be flourishing. I'm seeing them at all kinds of dispensaries. They have completely changed my opinion on gummies. They're great. And they taste great. They don't taste like fucking infused creations or Edipure or any of that nonsense garbage that's just like dipped in cannabis oil, you know, from fucking bulk gummies bought at like Sam's Club or whatever. No, it's great. I love them. I love them. If you get a chance to see, if Flourish pops up in the New York City market, I know you've understandably had problems with gummies before. I had almost completely sworn them off. That was until I tried Flourish. They're great. They're great. I don't have enough good things to say about them. And since then, I have found one other gummy brand that is also really good, but they're really small. You'll probably never see them. But in case you do, Tiki Killers. Yeah, wow. I don't think they're quite as good as Flourish, but they're good. They're good. So I've had 2 good experiences with gummies after just a sea of shit ones. Yeah, that's a bummer that you can't find Flourish. I would still say be wary of all gummies because that seems to be the industry, or the market where, or the type of product where the most fraudulent activity happens is the gummy and candy world. And also you have the problem that like you need fat to help metabolize THC, but it shouldn't really be a problem. Slimy also brought up the fact that TKO has a 500 milligram brownie and Rice Krispie. Yes, they do. They've actually released a whole bunch of new products. I know that because they are heavily displayed at one of Long Beach's 2 brand new dispensaries. Hallelujah. So great to have them here. TKO, I mean, they have like half the retail space, and they have a shit ton of products now. I think they even have, they have 300 milligram chocolate bars now. They have, I think they even have their own 1,000 milligram edible of some kind. They have a shit ton of stuff. I'm looking forward to getting some more reviews of them out because I found them to be pretty good. One of the edibles I like to consider like a workhorse edible. I think I call that about Bang too. They're not as good as Bang. Bang's better than them, but reliable. They'll get you high. They're usually a good deal. They're affordable. So I like TKO. I'm looking forward to reviewing some other things. It's just unfortunate that this dispensary, the first one that opened in Long Beach, seems to be taking advantage of that fact by making everything, you know, between 50 and 100% more expensive than it would be in surrounding communities. But you take what you can get when you can just, you know, skateboard over to it. So you pay for the convenience, I suppose. I've seen the chocolate and vape juice. Oh. Yeah. They have vape juice now. That's right. Yeah, they're doing cartridges too. That's crazy. Yeah. Oh man. Slimy, that's the way to do it. Yes. Once every 2 weeks, let that tolerance level slip back down. 100 milligram TKO would definitely do the trick. Even with my like tolerance, you know, pretty high, I would get an effect on, you know, like 100 milligram TKO would still do something to me. And they're pretty tasty. Not all of them are. You have to find the right ones. I really liked their, and I've had it since. I think this is what I ate before Blade Runner. I had their s'mores bar again, the TKO s'mores bar, s'mores crispy. That's a good one. If you haven't had it, give the s'mores crispy a try. It's good. Oh yes, video games. I've been promising to talk about video games. Wow, my throat is actually starting to get a little raw. I haven't talked this much this consecutively in a while. The Fruity Pebble one is good too, and I generally I find cereal bars to be kind of a disappointment, but I like TKOs, and both in terms of taste and potency. I don't think their cookies are as good though. I've had like their Snickerdoodle, and I think I've had their chocolate chip. I don't find their cookies to be as good, but they're like Other stuff's pretty decent. And now I'm just talking shop about TKO. I gotta start getting to a point here. I'm gonna talk a little bit about video games and how awesome video games are, and how super awesome video games are right now, especially. And then I think I am gonna have to get some food. Okay. So Sebastian, it's all gonna come down to price. It is all gonna have to come down to price. If they're within $5 of each other, I guess, in price, you go for the Punch Bars, hands down. Punch Bar, I'm eventually gonna put it on a list of like favorite specialty edibles or something. I fucking love how small they are. They're so discreet. They're so easy to just like take with you, throw in anything. And like, this could be, and I understand that this could be a little bit of bias on the part of the reviewer, because when I eat so many edibles, you know, you get tired of like having to, believe it or not, like eat fucking cookies and brownies every day. So when I get something that's like small and discreet, but it's still super potent and still tastes okay. I mean, it tastes better than okay. It's pretty good. I mean, it has like cannabis taste. It's not as good as Kiva. It's not as good as Defoncé. It's not as good as Bang. But it's not bad. It's certainly not bad. Bang is great. Bang is great. I have like 3 or 4 reviews of them. I'm always been surprised by how good they are. They are a little bit pricier out here. They're not crazy pricey, but you know, they're a little bit pricier. But if they're within $5 of each other, grab the Punch Bars. But you're not going to go wrong with TKO either. Hopefully, the fact that TKO is kind of a discount brand out here makes it a little bit more affordable for you in New York City. I don't know. Yes, Slimy very succinctly said what took me about 5 minutes to putter out there. All this is to say, I want to talk to you a little bit about video games, and then I think I am going to have to sate my munchies, which you can tell I'm going. I need to build my tolerance back up, because for a while, I had conquered munchies completely. Now, unfortunately, the munchies conquers me again. But I want to talk to you about how awesome video games have been. I would never say I was a lapsed gamer. I mean, I've always liked video games, but I got busier and, you know, sort of fell out of favor with them. And I always had the newest consoles and things, but god damn, when I started doing my tolerance break, I started playing video games more, which seems weird. You would think when you smoke pot, you do that's what you do, is you play video games. But I always found myself more productive when smoking pot. You know, it makes me more productive in some ways. So I've started playing a lot of video games, and I've just fallen head over heels back in love with the whole industry. There's been so much incredible stuff like out right now. Oh my god. My partner and I have been. We can't get enough of the Switch. We go out to restaurants. We go out to like brunch, and we take it with us, and then we're the chumps that are playing fucking Overcooked, which is a divorce simulator, I guess is what you would call it, where you have to cooperate with somebody in a kitchen to make orders. It sounds really lame, but it is a blast. Look it up on Metacritic or whatever, see how acclaimed it is. It is so much fun. You'll hate the other person you're playing with, and within 10 minutes you'll love it. Switch has been incredible this year, and I am a lapsed Nintendo guy. I did not have a Wii U. I stopped playing Wii, you know, I was stick the Wii in the closet, forget about it. But goddamn, the Switch has sort of reignited something in me. Super Mario Odyssey, holy shit. I mean, I don't need to be the only buddy. I don't need to be the one to tell you that game's incredible. I mean, just look at the amount of people that are ejaculating praise all over it. But let me be another voice. Let me be one other voice in this bukkake, of reviews, and just say, holy shit, what an incredible game. And then, also last week in the incredible shit that was, you know, a maelstrom of amazing video game releases that was last week. I had not played Destiny 2 on consoles. I have a PS4 Pro, but I was like, I'm not going to play it on consoles. I knew it was coming out on PC. I've got these 1440p ultra widescreen monitors. I was like, I want to play it on that. And I just started, oh my God. Ah, man. And this is, I wasn't a hater of the first one, but, you know, it didn't really capture me in the way I had hoped it would, like a lot of people, I assume. But is this game ever beautiful? Oh my, it just looks so incredible. It is an awesome, awesome time to be playing video games. And that's not even talking about the VR space, which has really, really been my my love for this past year. My sort of side passion project is VR. Oh, dude. Yes. It's crazy that Zelda will not be the best game that comes out this year. That is the most amazing thing about this year in video games, is that Zelda will not be the best game that comes out this year. It might not even be the best Nintendo game that comes out this year. All right, Rory, take care, man. Have a good night. I'm glad to know you're from New York City now. If I'm ever in the Big Apple, I'll let you show me around the animal market. If you're ever in California, I'll show you around. Yeah, Zelda was incredible. I loved it start to finish. It reignited something in me. I thought I would have hated everything about it. Its whole, like, sort of laissez-faire, let's just let you do whatever you want to do approach. There's no, you know, real right or wrong way to play it. It would have driven me crazy, but the opposite. It was freeing. Loved it. And then Odyssey is, oh man, in these bleakest of days, I think it's fair to say, in these grimmest of times, it is a bright, shining, I was going to say star, but I think moon is more appropriate for the game. You'll see if you ever play it. It's wonderful. It is so wonderful. And that's not even to talk about, again, Destiny 2, so much fun, especially on PC. It looks gorgeous, incredible. And then I've been playing old favorites too. Real quick, I never cherried on topped it. It was too nerdy. It was too much research to do. But guys, if you ever have any inclination towards economic simulators, oh boy, that is the nerdiest thing. I don't know any way to sell Off-World Trading Company other than the fact that it's one of my top 5 favorite games of all time. It's incredible. A friend and I have probably put in 40 hours playing online, just back and forth to each other. It's amazing. You got to give it a shot. Off-World Trading Company. It's often on sale on Steam for like $10. You'll love it. No, you'll probably hate it. I don't want to say anybody will love it. You'll probably look at it and throw up, but it's so great. I'll just cut that as my little cherry on top. I am super incredibly high and equally as hungry, and I am planning on fixing one of those two things. The other one, I am helpless to surrender to its whims. I'll let you guess which. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Sebastian, thank you for... Is this the first time you joined us? If it is, if not, I apologize for not remembering. You must forgive me. I've been very high. If it is, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Oh, we will be doing... oh, God, I should have done this before that preamble there. Well, I guess whatever the amble at the end is, because it's not the pre anymore. I will be doing live streams more often. There will be... Maybe I don't... Yes. Cool. There will be live streams coming more often. I will try to figure out a firm schedule starting the end of next week. Unless my schedule unless I can either really light a fire under my ass or unless the stars align, there might start to be blanks. There might be a blank spot till my tolerance rises back up before the new reviews come out. But I'll let you know if that happens. But just plan on being maybe a gap in the resume there. But I'll alert you to any new live streams. I'll definitely be doing them more often as the tolerance builds up. I'll keep the process up with you guys. Thank you so much for watching Wheats, everyone. Peace. Go enjoy Stranger Things, because I know that's what everybody in the world is doing right now.